You know, for a game about haunted Chuck E. Cheese animatronics, FNAF has a surprising amount of queer characters. Yep, it's one of those videos. Warning. The video you are about to watch contains a gender-fluid trans femme talking about fictional gay and trans animatronic mascots, and going out of their way to make a case for even more fictional animatronics being gay and trans. Hateful assholes, be warned. Your angry comments may not be necessary, but it will help this video out in the algorithm, so comment at your own demise. People will love enjoying your hearts. Sit back, grab your exotic blendy and Roxicode fan art, and enjoy. Before we get into the video, I just want to lay out some ground rules. Right off the bat, homophobia and transphobia will not be tolerated. I doubt if you made it past the warning card gag, you would comment any of that, but I just want to make that abundantly clear. That goes for all my videos, always has been. It's been one of the channel rules ever since I figured out you can make those. Secondly, some of the animatronics, mainly of the Fox variety, have had their identity debated heavily, and whilst I have done my best to come to a satisfying conclusion, I'm open to respectfully discussing any of the characters' identity in the comment section. Well, most of them. There's a small handful I will not be changing my mind on. And thirdly, the only outright direct confirmation we has on any character's identity was Mangle, as, and I quote, "Yes." Thank you, Scott Cawthon, you are very helpful. Whilst a good chunk of these characters are undeniably queer, the precise identities are headcanons. If you disagree, that's okay, you enjoy your headcanons and I'll enjoy mine. These are fictional robot animals and William Afton, if it's not that serious. This is a pizza bear game and social media is supposed to be fun, as are video games. With all that out of the way, let's finally talk about some queer animatronics, starting off with the OG, Mangle. As I mentioned earlier, Mangle's gender has been a point of discussion ever since FNAF 2 released, so much so that Scott Cawthon took to Steam to confirm the elusive answer to the gender as yes. Now that's good and all, but does that mean they are gender fluid? Is she gender queer? Perhaps he's non-binary? Well, I think we can narrow it down a bit more. Would it be wise then? Throughout the franchise, Mangle's pronouns are used interchangeably, usually flipping between he, him, and she, her pronouns whenever he's mentioned. However, in the Freddy files, she also uses it, its. Now, I don't own the original edition, but I do own the updated edition, as well as both Ultimate Guides, which is just Freddy's Files 3 and 4 under a different name, and like twice the price. The Ultimate Guide seem to only use he and she for Mangle, but the Freddy Files Updated Edition does use a combination of the three. If someone owns the original edition, please let me know what pronouns it uses for Mangle. Between Mangle's usage of he, she, its pronouns and Scott describing its gender as yes, I think we can fairly say that she's gender fluid. Alternatively, we could just ask him. Thank you, Mangle. Jumping forward to FNAF Worlds, we have Adventure Spring Bonnie, whose loading screen card bears the legend, male, female, here's a rabbit, who cares? Seems pretty non-binary to me. Speaking of the NBs, next up, Lolbit, another animatronic fox whose gender is often debated. Now personally, I think them being literally painted with a non-binary flag should be pretty clear. However, we've also seen Lolbit in more casual attire, and these outfits are the most androgynous outfits I have ever seen. I've also heard people speculate Lolbit could be gender fluid or bi-gender, however, I just can't get over Lolbit's colour palette. It's just a non-binary flag, I'm sorry. If you made it this far into the video, you likely enjoy my content and should like the video. This video is a little different to my regular theory content, however, if you like genderdoe people yapping about FNAF, consider subscribing, because I do that. Can you tell I'm uncomfortable with putting a plug in the middle of a video? Why must the algorithm forsake me so? Funtime Foxy is yet another Foxy with an ambiguous gender, with Hound Unit referring to her with feminine pronouns in Sister Location, and she's included in the Lady Nights challenges, both in Sister Location's Custom Night and UCN. However, in both Custom Nights, His description uses masculine pronouns. As far as I'm aware, he's never officially gone by they them pronouns, so it seems Funtime Foxy is bi-gender, making Foxy the most queer Fazbear character so far. Who says entertainment establishments can't be woke in the 80s? Bonbon gets an honorary mention since the character encyclopedia uses female pronouns for him. However, this is the character encyclopedia where it sets great rating as he's in a worse state than Withered Foxy, as his hook hand has gone astray, and in FNAF 3, his hook hand has gone astray. Yes, I'm gonna keep referencing that quote as the stupidest piece of writing I ever have read that has been published in an actual book. Now for this next character, I don't have any official evidence, so you're gonna have to bear with me, excuse the pun. However, I do have logic on my side. Lefty is a trans girl. Now, I know Lefty has always been referred to as a boy, but as a trans fan myself, that's pretty typical because, put simply, society is full of conservative bigots. You're watching a video about making robot furries gay. Why are you surprised it got political? Now, Lefty the animatronic bear is undeniably made to be a boy, granted. But the puppet who is literally trapped inside of a male body is a girl. Look me in the eyes and tell me that is not transcoding. Now I hear you, the puppet is constantly referred to as a boy with the exception of the movie, but Charlotte Emily, who is again literally trapped inside of a male body, is a girl. You're not gonna win this. I doubt this is intentional, but in the highly unlikely possibility that Scott Cawthon, or someone that still catches wind of this, I urge you to just lie and pretend this was all intentional, please. We need the puppet as a trans film icon. Of course, we cannot talk about FNAF 6 without mentioning the most infamous toxic yaoi in the fandom, Henry Emily and William Afton. They were literally partners and neither took the breakup well, okay? William kills Henry's daughter, and Henry did the age-old tactic of burning your husband. And like, I'm just saying, we never hear about Mrs. Afton or Mrs. Emily. We never do get Henry's last name in the games, to be fair. Ignore the fact that in both the books and the movies, Charlotte's surname is Emily. Since Ultimate Custom Night and Help Wanted mostly consists of pre-existing characters, let's skip ahead to Security Breach. But the only people safe are Gregory and Cassie because they are children and so they don't get to have attraction. Everyone also is free real estate, baby. The staff bots are all error ace, except maybe Matt bot after help 1 or 2, but only if he's possessed by Mr. Cassie's dad. Roxy and Chica, look, I don't have any concrete evidence. They kind of make the lesbian flag, and honestly all the Glamrocks are kind of fruity. They're literally based off the Glamrock music scene, which famously has strong ties to the LGBTQ+ community. And look, they're just a really cute ship, okay? Let a gal have a hobby, please. Another lesbian I don't have much evidence for is Vanessa. The only reason why I even bring her up is this comment from her stalker in Special Delivery, rest in peace. Special Delivery, not Lewis, he's creepy. Quote, I thought your hair looked nice today, the rainbow streaks brightened up the office. Admittedly, this email was apparently never implemented in-game and is considered cut content. Seeing I couldn't play myself since my phone wasn't compatible, and this email is in both Ultimate Guides, neither of which mention the fact that it never appeared in-game, that's an error. That should have been put in there. This was news to me. However, I'm going to say that this is canon because 1, like I say, both Ultimate Guides present the email as if it was in-game, and 2, because the entire point is I'm trying to find as many queer FNAF characters as possible. You really think cut content is gonna stop me? Like, count yourself lucky I'm not doing the book characters, otherwise I'd be bringing up Greg, since Gibby's Horror Homestead had a conspiracy theory, which I'll leave linked to the end of the video, and he 100% sold me on this. Greg was absolutely supposed to be gay and we were robbed of our tragic yaoi teen romance. Damn you heterosexual norms. Monty is literally a raging bisexual, and I'm open to him being pansexual. Again, most of my evidence is just that a lot of Glamrock artists were bisexual, as well as just the general vibes Monty gives off. Like, he has purple solid pads, I'm just saying. Pink on blue equals purple. The bi flag also has purple, I should have led from that. Now for my hottest take, which I fear I may get cancelled for, but honestly this entire video is bound to start some fire, so here goes. Glamrock Freddy and Glamrock Bonnie are not boyfriends. Because they're fucking married. They literally have matching rings, so what if they wear their wedding rings on their ears? I imagine it's hard to play bass with a ring on, and Freddy probably just wants to match his husband. I will not be persuaded otherwise. I mean, if you have a better explanation for why they have wedding earrings as opposed to wedding rings on their fingers, then I'm all ears. But they are undeniably married and I am prepared to die on this hill. Also, Freddy literally got the entire FNAF theorist community to investigate the murder of his husband. Plus the whole "you and me forever and ever, love Freddy" poster in Bonnie's green room, and of course,
I do not come up here anymore. I miss him.
If that's not gay, I don't know what is. I'm sorry, Glamrock Fronting is canon and I will not be backing down. There's a reason I put them in the thumbnail. Now, I wouldn't be Pride by a drag queen, and M2 does not disappoint. Like, this isn't even me reading into things, the Mimic literally puts on Nurse Dolly and we watch in real time as he learns how to walk in high heels. This is just a fact with an entire section featuring 2 chase sequences to back it up. And I can't end the video without starting at least one more fire. Toy Chica is asexual. I really want to say she's era ace just to piss people off even more, but unfortunately Toy Chica the high school years exists. But on behalf of the asexual community, we're claiming her now. God forbid she needs some garlic bread after the debauchery on the internet about her. Y'all should be ashamed that I really hope for your sakes victims of the dead children's incident didn't possess the toys. But she's ace now because I said so and I make the rules around here. It's my channel, so suck it. Anyway, now that I've almost certainly started at least one shipping war, I piss off the homophobes, transphobes and the Toy Chica simps, please like and subscribe. This video was admittedly a little different to my usual theory content, but fingers crossed that I should be able to get back to my more regular uploads and streams. I've been extremely busy the past couple months making an animation for college, which I'll be uploading at some point soon once I'm done fine tuning it. However, now that animation is finished, I now have time to actually make theories again. Now if you excuse me, I have to get back to driving myself insane, trying to simplify Midnight Murderess, ready for FNAF 6 Simplified. Goodbye for now. Oh my god, I see my career flashing before my eyes. It's burning to hell. The Christians were right.